all over at Emirates Stadium has finished Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1. It was nowhere near as comfortable as it should have been in the end. The Gunners were amazing in the first half, completely dominated the game. Probably should have scored 4 or 5 goals, missed some really good opportunities, completely pinned Aston Villa back and put them to the sword. We were all over them, but we just weren't clinical enough when it mattered. Thankfully, we found the breakthrough eventually through Gabriel Jesus, and we got our noses in front. The second half wasn't as plain sailing, you have to say though. Aston Villa came out quite well in the second half. They responded, they pinned us back for large periods, which you could argue was not the worst thing in the world, because it meant that we could try and hit them on the break and we could try and pick them off that way. But credit to Villa, because they were much improved in the second half. Our intensity level dropped, our energy levels dropped. We played on Saturday evening, we played here tonight, and we've got that game at Old Trafford on Sunday. Obviously we've got a few injury problems within the camp as well. Looked as though Martin Odegaard may have picked up something, and that's why he was taken off. Don't know the details on that. Aaron Ramsdale was down for a bit as well, receiving treatment. Don't know what the deal is with him. I don't think there was a problem with Ben White, but I'm not 100% sure, being at the game. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what Mikel Arteta says and what news emerges over the coming days. But it's 5 wins out of 5. You can't ask for more than that. 15 points from a possible 15. We march on. We go to Old Trafford, and of course, look, there's always a pressure going to Manchester United, a game against a side that you'd think we'd be competing with in the Premier League table for those European places. They haven't had the greatest start to the season, but they've started to get back on track, and it's never an easy away trip for us. So, you go to that game now, of course, under pressure to win it, and of course under pressure to continue this amazing run and pick up maximum points, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, we've won our first 5, and so you go there, and if you do get beat, well, it isn't the end of the world. You don't need to have the meltdown. You don't need to overreact to it, because the start to the season has been brilliant. The equaliser, from what I could see at this end of the stadium, it looked like the ball just went straight in. There was a VAR check for a foul. Don't know if there was a foul. Couldn't possibly tell you from here, so I'll have to go home and watch that, or you guys can let me know in the comments. The only downside is that the goals that we've been conceding seem to be silly goals, cheap goals, and that's frustrating. Luckily, we've got the firepower at the other end these days to go and correct that and rectify that much more often than we have done in previous seasons. And to respond that quickly again showed the character, and again the atmosphere inside the stadium, it went up a notch when Aston Villa equalised. People getting behind the team, urging the team on to respond, and they did straight away. Beautiful ball from Gabriel, by the way, over the top of the defence for Martinelli to set off that move. And then obviously Bukayo Saka with a great assist from the right hand side. I thought he was much better tonight, Bukayo Saka, much closer to his best than he has been in the early weeks of the season. But just a quick roundup of the player performances. Ramsdale didn't have an awful lot to do. Aston Villa didn't really work him, to be fair, but I don't know if he was at fault for that goal. I'll have to have another look. Ben White did a really good job, as did Tomiyasu when he came on. Tierney was playing that inverted role a lot more today. I don't really think it suits him. I don't know if he's going through a bit of an adaptation period there, and if that's going to be a problem. It looked a little bit off the pace as well. Centre-backs, brilliant, both of them. Really, really solid as always. In the midfield, I thought Sambi Lokonga was superb. Looked really confident. I talked earlier today in the show about the need to, or not the need, but the fact that our defensive midfielder gets a lot more protection nowadays, given the way that we play, the way we set up, the way we squeeze up the pitch. And you could see that he looked a lot more comfortable, and once the confidence was flowing through his veins after some nice early touches, I thought he had a really good game. Odegaard's superb again. Hope he's not injured. Hope he hasn't got a problem that's going to keep him out. Aside from that, Granit Xhaka I didn't think was great in the first half, but improved as the game went on. Martinelli brilliant as well. Saka, as I say, closer to his best, and Gabriel Jesus with a real workman-like performance did a brilliant job. 5 wins out of 5. What more do you want? Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and the full podcast will be coming soon, so stay tuned. Cheers.